Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.
Good day and welcome to Africa Investor Today as we bring you news from the African continent. I'm your host Zylan. We start today's bulletin with politics and economy. Declaring that the situation in war-torn eastern Congo had dramatically evolved over the past year, UN envoy Olusegun Obasanjo announced plans on Monday to scale back his regional mediation efforts. Obasanjo told the UN Security Council improved ties between President Joseph Kabila of Congo and Paul Kagame of neighboring Rwanda had been key to reducing violence, but admitting underlying problems remained. Obasanjo said he and fellow mediator former Tanzanian President Benjamin Mkapa would submit a final report to an African Union summit in January. United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has expressed his delight at the power-sharing agreement reached by Madagascar's current and former leaders, but urged them to implement the deal in order to resolve the long-drawn political wrangling in the Indian Ocean country. The African Union has said that despite the deal, it would not readmit Madagascar until a newly agreed power-sharing government was in place and fresh elections in the pipeline. Madagascar's four past and present leaders struck the power-sharing deal on Saturday following talks in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. We'll be back after the short break. Stay with us.
Redefining energy means redefining life. At the Petroleum, Oil and Gas Corporation of South Africa, our commitment to greater innovation and greener fuels has made us pioneers in the field of gas-to-liquids technology. It has also earned us worldwide recognition for producing the cleanest fuels through environmentally friendly processes. That's how we've become the international leader in diesel technology. Through pure innovation, pure energy, pure brilliance.
On to banking and finance now. Gabon's new president, Ali Ben Bongo, resigned on Monday after being named by media being involved in some 40 million euros of losses at the Bank of Central African States. Bongo's cabinet director, Jean-Pierre Oyiba, was cited as one of several officials to have allegedly benefited from the bank, which issues the currency of the Central African franc zone. BEAC member states has pledged in September to investigate the nature of the losses made by the bank, where an auditing committee is already investigating alleged embezzlement of finances during the period 2004 to 2008. Worried by insinuations of poor implementation of the Millennium Development Goals related projects in Nigeria, Senior Special Advisor to the President on the MDGs, Haija Amina Mohammed Az-Zubar, has said her office was on good track. Az-Zubar disclosed that efforts by her office were being frustrated by some commercial banks, which she said were hiding under the government-introduced e-payments to prevent contractors from accessing the project funds, a situation she noted was slowing down the implementation of the MDGs. She disclosed that 47.1 billion naira had been approved for the execution of various development projects in the Quick Wins arrangement under the Millennium Development Goals. However, she did not disclose the names of the banks involved, but explained that the MDG's office had stopped patronizing the affected banks. With that, we'll take a short break. Join us after this.
Afrexim Bank is Africa's leading trade finance bank, an organization dedicated to promoting African trade through credit, risk-bearing and advisory services. We pride ourselves on having local presence throughout the continent and are committed to extending our award-winning trade and project finance programs to unlock private sector development continent-wide. We invite you to become a part of our vision for a strong Africa in a changing world. If you trade within Africa, contact us to support you.
On to companies and markets now. A day of high drama at Eskom saw the return of Chief Executive Jacob Moroka, the resignation of Board Chairman Bobby Godsell, and elevation of longtime Director Mpho Makwana to Acting Chairman. The day broke with confirmation that the embattled Moroka had returned to Megawatt Park. Godsell, with the backing of the Eskom board, had announced Moroka had resigned last Thursday. Yesterday's events followed 10 days of conflicting reports of a power struggle in the highest echelons demands of Eskom. Moroka's supposed resignation reportedly followed a clash at a board meeting at which alternative visions for the enterprise were presented, with Moroka wanting more power over operations and Godsell wanting a chief operating officer to assist the chief executive. 25 firms have been shortlisted to offer advisory services to Rwandan government in order to ensure that the eagerly awaited initial public offering of Balerwa becomes a success, the Ministry of Finance said yesterday. The government of Rwanda intends to sell 25% shares it owns in Rwanda's largest beer and soft drink manufacturer through a public listing before the end of this financial year, 2009-2010. However, there is still an evaluation process to select successful bidders. We'll take a break and be back with infrastructure news. Stay with us.
Africa Investor, the leading African investment magazine, is essential reading for investors in Africa, filled with the very latest in Pan-African investment and finance news. In addition, log on to africa-investor.com to find out more about our exciting capital market, infrastructure and tourism events, and our long-standing investable Africa Investor 100 Index series, which tracks over $600 billion of African equities. Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
And finally, on to infrastructure now. China plans to build and manage a toll road from Uganda's Entebbe International Airport to the capital, Kampala, to reduce congestion. The Chinese government will build the road using concessionary loans from the Export-Import Bank of China. The existing 36-kilometer Kampala-Entebbe road experiences regular traffic jams because of congestion. In addition to the toll road, China wants to pursue investment in the infrastructure and oil refining industries in the East African country. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has also asked the Chinese government to provide soft loans for the planned 500-megawatt Karuma hydropower dam along the Nile River. Nigeria's Wali indigenous-owned telecommunications firm Globacom has won an operating license in Côte d'Ivoire, marking the fourth West African country in which it has registered in its presence. Globacom's group executive director said the license had given impetus to the firm's desire to provide the needed opportunity for West African countries and the whole of Africa to leap forward economically through an excellent communication network and a cost-effective voice, data, video and e-commerce service. And with that, we wrap up today's bulletin. Do log on to our website at www.africa-investor.com for more on these news and others. From Lee's Island, chat tomorrow. Bye.
Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.